Hey everybody, welcome again to Arachnoiditis Unfiltered. This is episode 5, I believe. Yes, and it is July, so welcome everyone to being a warrior. And we just want to recognize everyone on the channel and say how thankful we are that you guys are here with us and that during Arachnoiditis Month, we all share something in common, and we're hoping um, you know, just to get everybody's voice together and to just bring a togetherness like no other so that we can move mountains and just get the ball rolling with everything that we want to do and what we want to accomplish, which I have a list of stuff, but um, we'll leave it from there and then we'll kind of go into what our mission actually is and what we're trying to accomplish by doing this podcast because it's not just one thing and, it's not about, mowing our grass or whatever it is. It's
But
literally
we
to,
love that.
right? We
Yeah.
all love to like torture ourselves and have to like do work, but it's a togetherness, regardless of like how you want to look at it. Um, those little things in life, they do matter. So I'm just building, a community for all of us to share together our stories and anything that we can find that is helpful as far as a treatment and hopefully a cure. I mean, that is really what our mission, our end game is. We want to find a cure and or just something that can truly help all of us get to, you know, higher quality function. So,
Couldn't say it better myself. And I
right.
have just a quick acknowledgement.
Yes.
Happy early birthday, Sarah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, 30. No, just kidding. I'm 44 tomorrow.
44, you look 30 something.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. It must be all that boat. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding. I
no,
have
I got 10,
Botox.
1080p, so I can see
All
you good.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's you
Um,
I'm worried about. I don't want to break your camera. So
oh, you look wonderful. I mean,
thank
come
you.
on. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even like see your scar or anything.
Oh, really? It's like right there. I
I
mean,
mean, when you put your head in the camera like that,
yeah.
but
I mean,
yeah.
and here's the funny thing about that. What I didn't mention. Right after I woke up in the tree and was kind of doing a self-assessment, I reached my hand up and it went between my skin and my skull.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was
That's
like, I mean, I
oh
think
shit.
that was the bigger oh shit moment than, I'm paralyzed to me anyway. Um,
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah. Tidbits of my story.
that is rough.
You
I'm
know,
telling you.
path to arachnoiditis. You got to
Yeah,
it's on the yellow
arachnoid.
brick road, right?
Right? All the fun we have along the way.
Exactly.
All right. So did you want me to just kind of lead into some of our mission values and what we're doing or
Yeah, let's just
no, I
go
kind of
kind of down the list and if we want to comment on it, we can. If
yeah.
it's very
Okay.
self-explanatory, we can just move on to the next.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So some of our core mission values, goals, however you want to put it for the podcast is number one, to humanize arachnoiditis. So the whole point of doing this was Steve and I had looked through like, well, what can we really do to like, help a lot more? And what we noticed, there wasn't a lot of patient experiences, online anywhere really. Now, I'm not saying there hasn't been research done prior to us because there surely has. It's just you can't really jump online and look for those stories quickly. And a few of them, you might find a few, but it's very limited. So the whole point we wanted to do is to have this where we can all share stories and it'd be a togetherness, number one, but also, you know, treatments. I mean, that's really what, everybody wants to be fixed. So that's what
Yeah.
yeah, options, treatments, anything that we can do to, make your life any bit better. That's really what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, from the point of there was nothing on the internet when I got diagnosed in 2014,
Sure.
literally nothing.
Right.
Um, and I mean, I don't say this to be boastful, but I think my story proliferates the internet with arachnoiditis probably more than most.
Mm.
And it was not, I did not set out on a mission to do that, but I'm happy to, now be a face of arachnoiditis share my story and use it to literally push things forward faster, getting more attention and making more progress with this because, you've been dealing with it for 16 years. I've been dealing with it since the 90s. And man, at some point you just get tired, you know,
Yeah,
time to
right.
move on. So
I
anyway,
can't imagine.
I
I
just I
mean,
just shared basically our number two value.
right, there you go.
Yeah.
Fuel the research. That's our whole thing. So, next thing would be to bridge any gaps and accelerate, the whole process. That's actually what you just said too.
Yeah.
So, with that, we are working with Tenant Foundation and ACM CRN. So we're not doing this 100% solo. We are collaborating with others and trying to also get a few other people on board, which we are on board with them. It's just, with the condition, they have it too. So they have good and bad days. So unfortunately, just recently in the last few weeks, a lot of people have been really sick. So,
I,
take that into account. We're not like just not doing anything. If you guys think we're just doing these,
I,
we are working behind the scenes. So,
I think you pick five people with arachnoiditis and you can put a solid one work week together,
right. Yeah,
right?
maybe. Depends on the week. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's some, yeah,
And I
some
don't
really
mean that to
bad.
be derogatory at all. We
No,
just mean
no,
that we
it's
have our
truthful.
days. Yeah,
Well,
good days and bad days.
and I think all of us that are not all, but you know, the core people working on all these initiatives have been doing this for a long time. And
Mhm.
so they are at the later stages of the disease process, whereas maybe some of the, younger ones or newer diagnosed ones coming in, what I'm saying is, as the disease process goes on, you get less and less, function. At
Yeah.
least I have anyway.
But it's
Though
those people,
I keep pushing on. I mean,
the people
that's all you
new
can
to the
do.
path are the ones that I want to help everybody, but more so the people that are new because I struggled with it from the start. I know you did as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody does. Nobody just goes, "Hey, I got this," and they just kind of go. Life goes on with arachnoiditis. It's a process,
Yeah.
and we want to help those people as well as the people at the end. Just would you not help your kids before you helped yourself?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I look at
Absolutely.
it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is we are advocating for the intractable pain community. That is huge for us. Doctor Patient Forum, I've said over and over that I support them. I know Dr. Tennant and his team, and I think ACM CRN are also, all collaborating with their foundation as well. And we'll talk about that more. If people are not familiar with what that is, you can always hop on their website. But it's basically fighting for patient rights with chronic pain and being able to use, opiates or pain treatment, period.
We'll put those links in the
Yeah.
description. So
Yeah, absolutely. And then pushing, again, it's kind of reiterating, but pushing for recognition and funding. And one of the things I said in one of the last podcasts was that I want an ICD-10 code. And I do know Lori had said that she is working with CDC to get that, underway, but hopefully I'll be able to help her. Maybe after the ketamine, I'll be more functioning and help.
you know
But
what? Again, I circle back to the fact that that's why we need to be in front of Congress.
right,
They
absolutely.
need to
Yeah.
they need to know who we are, and
Yeah.
because I think you and I would be comfortable in front of them, and we have good stories to tell, both on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Um, you know what, man? I mean, since this is Arachnoiditis Month, call, write your congressman, tell them
Mhm.
who we are, tell them what we're trying to do, and say, get these people in front of Congress because we need some change in the way that they code us, because that makes a huge difference in the way that they treat us as a result of how they coded us.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And then the other big thing is just mainstreaming arachnoiditis in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said before, like you go to the ear, they don't know what it is. Most doctors, even neurosurgeons or neurologists, they know what it is briefly, but they're not an expert like Dr. Tennant.
Right.
So having more resources definitely is imperative. Education, like I said before, like, everybody, I mean, everybody in the medical field should be doing their CEUs on this, especially if they work in pain management. Like that should be number one, not
Yeah.
only for
Well,
arachnoiditis, but any other rare diseases also, or,
and
yeah.
PCPs as well, because they're at the front
Oh,
line.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have to see them to get a referral. So you come in with, oh, I got,
right, yeah,
tingling in my foot, and
sure.
they go, oh, you probably have neuropathy. So they're probably going to give you gabapentin
Yep.
and send you on your way. And then it continues to get worse.
It ain't gonna help, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they say, well, I'm going to send you to a neurologist. And the neurologist goes, are you on gabapentin? Yes, I've been on gabapentin for a while. Well, let me
Hmm.
put you on this drug now and see if that helps you. Drugs are plugging the holes. They're
Right,
not fixing the problem of
right,
the holes
right.
being made.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I mean, sometimes you need them for certain conditions or diseases.
No,
And sometimes if you're not diagnosed properly, like I wasn't for the first decade, I could have had a different treatment path is what I'm saying, had I been diagnosed early on,
right.
which is something we want to prevent too. I didn't put that in here, but obviously, self-advocacy and getting people on an educational level, not saying that you have to be a nurse or a doctor, but just to understand the medical lingo to some extent so you can advocate and you know what's going on, in your own
Maybe
medical
maybe we
situation.
need like I don't want to say a medical hotline, but a conduit where people that need somebody to help them advocate for themselves can call up, and we can give them a list of questions to ask, things to understand,
Yeah,
words they're going to hear, medications that may come up.
sure. Right.
Just give them that resource, because really, where do you go for that? WebMD, and then oh man, all of a sudden you go from a hangnail to my head's falling off and I've been decapitated. So, yeah,
Jeez. Yeah,
it's a rabbit
right.
hole.
Right. Yeah, it
I
really
mean, that's
is.
the extreme, but people start
Yeah.
off with minor things and then they're like, oh my God, I'm dying because. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
again,
that's great. That's a great point to bring up. If you guys are watching and you guys have any suggestions for us, or you want to participate with us in any of these positions or any of these ways to help, please contact us, reach out to us. Not only do we need help with everything that we're doing, we also need to hear, your stories and treatments that you've had, everything that we're talking about. So definitely, give us insight, try to be, you know,
we are
light with
very
us.
we're very
But yeah,
accessible,
yeah,
because we're trying to make a difference, and we're very relatable because we're just like you.
yep, absolutely. And I think we're both very down to earth people
Oh
too. I
yeah.
mean, that definitely is helpful. What else? And then help educate, like in plain language. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Plain language. You know, not everybody understands the medical lingo, like I said, and or some of the slides that are presented. And I mean, even I'm going to admit, I mean, even as a nurse, there were things that I didn't know and I had to in-depth research them. So what I would like to do is basically get a book or something out there or go through, each podcast that we do, just like a 5 minute, step by, not on the whole condition, but one piece at a time, one piece of the puzzle to help you guys understand. So that because it takes a lot of time to invest to truly understand this condition, because it's not just pain, it's so much more than that. And that's, something, you know, a lot of people they, I don't want to say they don't understand, but they, you know, just haven't got to that point yet. So,
I remember at the very first, I was still working, and I had an expense account, so I had unlimited access to printer cartridges and paper.
oh,
And
nice.
so I
Yeah.
was printing out stuff left and right, stapling it together, highlighting it with my multi-highlighters.
Mm.
Um, and again, there was not that much, but what there was, I wanted to have a record of, because it seemed like it was so hard to find. Now it's
Oh,
just
right.
like you got Dr. Betsy Grunch doing these. She did the best description of arachnoiditis.
Arachno. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, if anybody's listening, inundate her
Right.
inbox. We want
Send
her on
her
this
to us.
channel.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to go see her as a patient for real,
Oh,
but that's
oh
a
yeah.
different story.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
I think we need to do like a write-in campaign to see if we, she's going to say, what is this thing, arachnoiditis unfiltered, and,
right.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah, the more you see it, the more you get curious, and maybe we can make something like that happen.
Get her
So,
curiosity to lead her
absolutely.
to us. Yeah. Okay, where are we at? Educate, empower. Oh yeah, self-advocacy. I mean, that all kind of goes hand in hand again. We want you guys to advocate for yourselves. And we want to help again, that's like another position, truly. It could be for someone providing those the tools for you guys to communicate with medical staff. And that's one other thing Dr. Tennant had brought up. Make sure you guys all have, if you take anything away from this, make sure you guys have your medical records in hand and organized. Like it's so important because I mean, I'm sure you all know, but they just don't have a lot of time. So you really got to break it down for them and have your symptoms listed, like the main symptoms. You don't have to list, every symptom, but the main things going on. So that's something, a good takeaway at least on
Yeah.
that.
My chart, I swear to God, is like a foot thick
Yeah, I
paperwork.
can only
I
imagine.
mean,
Right.
I've got a history. And here's the thing. Anytime I took medical records, I would hand them to them and they would do this. They're not reading that shit.
Oh, no, right.
They're
Yeah.
flipping through it and they're like, give me the skinny, and I'm
Right.
gonna tell them what's what. And the benefit that you and I have is we speak their language and we can go in
Right.
there and get down to the subject matter right away instead of all this, well, the other day I was,
Yeah.
whatever, and I had a twist and then, okay,
Right.
move on to the point, right?
Right. Yeah.
I can get to the point because I pretty much know mostly what I'm dealing with before I go in.
Right.
Not that I'm a genius or whatever, but I've been doing this for so long. You,
Right.
you absorb a little. So
Just a little, just a little bit over time, even though we have terrible brain fog. So some
yeah,
days
true.
don't have anything absorbed, but um, and then the other big thing, which kind of goes along with the podcast we just did about, having a good support system. It's so important. I mean, we're here for you guys as well as, if you hopefully you do have a spouse or a loved one near you that, can really support you. Um, because this is a disease and it needs to be treated like any disease, It's not something that comes and goes in the respect that, I mean, you will have flare-ups, up and downs with it, but I, it's just sometimes I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of just brushed underneath the table sometimes. And even now, when I go see some doctors, it's like they still don't even recognize it at all. I mean, it's in literature, medical literature, but it's like, they don't almost believe that it's true. Kind of like lupus. Back in the day, Dr. Tennant fought for lupus. He was one of the founding fathers for that condition, disease. So it's kind of like that. So until mainstream medical really says, factually, this is what it is, we're kind of all, it's our job, I guess, to speak out to them, to make them understand that we are all have this condition, we're suffering, and we need help.
Yeah,
It's time. It's mission critical, as you keep saying. Like it is time.
yeah,
It's time to move on. All right, what else? Unite all intractable pain warriors, which we've been talking about. And we want to do that from a national initiative, like you already had said, to get in front of Congress. One of the ways that tenants team is working on that right now is with the NCP3, which I think I had told you a little bit about, which is the National Campaign to Protect Patients in Pain.
yeah,
So with that being said, I told you that I had message Pat, but she's extremely busy working on that initiative right now. But what I would like to do, I mean, we have to work on that aspect first, but I really think it would be awesome if we could all collaborate together to make it tenant law. I think that would be great. Like, wouldn't that be, I mean, he has paved the way
yeah,
for us, and I feel like that would be, such an honor to be able to give him that, you know, that law that's he's fought so hard for us all these other years.
And he's
And he
still
has,
fighting.
right. And he has a, I don't know if you're familiar, he has a law in California for the chronic pain, which he had that I think he had that passed back years ago, but
Yeah.
so this would just be a national initiative for him, which would be great.
Well, he
I mean,
needs he needs to build off of what we're doing because I think honestly that we'll have the platform for him to work from. He's obviously very well known,
yeah.
but um, nobody's running his social media. Nobody's trying to boost him up. He's just kind of doing his thing. He's making a difference. We're doing it the Gen Z way. I mean, we didn't
Look,
know what we were.
I'm sold. I don't even know what Gen Z is.
Well,
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
we started doing a lot more because of your niece, you know.
Yes, right. Yeah.
I mean, it's that generation, and that's how you connect with people.
Yeah.
And because we're not connecting with, 62-year-olds or, 34-year-olds.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
I caught it. I'm gonna just roll my eyes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I
Um,
wish. I wish
yeah.
it was only in my 30s again. Oh,
Um, yeah. I mean, I think, it, it's time and opportunity. This is the
right.
right time, and I think we're creating the right opportunity. And if you get a good groundswell going, and it seems like there seems to be that with this new study coming out from
Right.
the ACMCRN with the NCP3 law that's trying to go through. I mean, this is
That
like we're at the
that
tip of the volcano going boom. Right.
right. That is with tenants groups, just FYI. Or they may be collaborating on it together. I'm not really sure. I
Okay.
haven't had a chance to talk to Lori because she's been down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is
Well,
with tenant. So through Doc Talks.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and with that, just really fast too, I just want to point out too, that's every state, including Oklahoma there, mister. So I'm on Florida board, right? I'm on the Florida board. So what we need is at least one person. I mean, truly, we need multiple, as
Is
many
there a
people as
board?
we can get. Yeah,
Yeah.
a medical board for each state. So what we're going to do is literally, you can just go on to the medical board like this and watch them. So
Okay.
what we're really trying to do, well, number one, you can just jump online and research like your state's opioid policy.
Mhm.
Specifically, that's what we're looking at. How do they use the language? In other words, are they for or against it? In their language, you can kind of gather some from that, but then just by networking with them to see are they going to be open to collaborating together. And a lot of them I think are going to be able, because honestly, I'm hearing a lot from a lot of doctors that are not happy because they're not able to treat their patients like they want to, but their hands are literally tied. And that's really, it's heartbreaking because I see both sides of it, but at the
Well,
same,
I mean, we demonized it, or it got
yeah,
demonized way back in
yeah,
the day during the OxyContin crisis, right?
right.
They
Yeah.
had the pill
Fentanyl,
mills.
Oxycontin. Yep.
Yeah, it was just like, pay me the money, here's the script, pay me the money, here's the script. It was a freaking conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And the people that truly care, truly care.
Yeah.
And they're not there for the pill mill. They have a regular office. I mean, go look at it.
Yeah.
Go observe it. If that's
Right.
what it takes to let people get what they need to deal with the pain that they're in.
Right. I
Otherwise,
mean, here's my thing. It's palliative care.
yeah.
Put in a palliative care act. I keep saying this over and over. I'm going to say it over and over till I'm blue in the face. Palliative care act. They'll make the patient sign a waiver. If I die from overdosing on the meds, it's to keep me comfortable and give me quality of
Right.
life. It's my decision. Um, and how the powers that be have taken this away between, individualized care with the provider and the patient should be, you know,
Yeah.
holy, in my opinion. That's the holy grail it should be. But unfortunately, we all know it's about money. I hate
Well,
to say it,
here's the comparison, acute versus chronic. Uh,
right.
you have somebody with cancer, worst pain imaginable,
Sure.
and you limit the amount of medication they can take.
It's happening everywhere. It's
It
happening
well, it, it's
everywhere.
happening everywhere, but in most cases, the decision is give them what they need to be comfortable because they're going to die.
Well, if they're in hospice, yes,
Right.
then
And
they
but
will.
compared to us, we know we're going to go on day to day.
Yeah,
So let's draw back that. So it's almost discriminatory for
it
that pain
is.
versus this pain
Yeah, it is.
because, you don't know when they're going to die, but you're
Yeah,
just giving them enough to kill themselves if they wanted to. Uh,
right.
and you know what? When you're in that much pain, you know that you have no rope left in life. Those pills may be a choice,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
we just don't want to be in pain.
Right.
Very
It's not,
simple.
we are not addicts. Like you said the last time, we
Yeah.
literally are in severe pain. And we're not talking about, I'm in 2 out of 10 pain. Like, yeah, no, we're intractable, severe, can't get out of the bed, literally threw my hair down to come here and threw a shirt on. Like, it's that kind of.
Yeah. Thank you for
Um,
your sacrifice, by the way.
right. But no, I'm serious. It's just, like I said before, you go into the doctor's office and you're smiling, I'm smiling.
I
We
know,
must
right?
we must be totally fine, right? We can smile. We're not in pain. I mean, you get that all the time. So
I totally get that.
it's that kind of thinking that it has to stop.
Yeah.
It has to stop.
What I get is, how are you in so much pain yet so happy? And I'm like,
Yeah. It's a
because,
choice.
yeah,
It's a
it's a
choice.
choice, and I'm
Yeah.
used to the pain. So,
Right.
I can either be miserable and worse because, misery is so much stress on your body and those around you.
Right.
And then it's like a force of, just pulling you down,
Right.
which
Like I
makes
told,
you
yeah.
worse. Yeah.
We can
So
go
it,
down that road, but
yeah.
nobody's going to want to be here for that,
So people ask me,
Right.
how do you do it without medication? I don't have that much stress in my life,
Yeah.
and that makes a huge difference because
Sure.
stress, man, it
Oh,
will it will impact your heart, it will impact your sleep, it will impact your marriage, it will impact your life. I mean, go down the list.
right.
So yeah, avoid stress, find reasons to laugh and be happy. Watch our show frequently.
Right. You can just laugh at us if it
Yeah.
makes you feel better, whatever. We're here for that too,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. Moving, what else are we? I don't even know what's left on here.
So
Let's
I
see.
think we're on bust myths and fight stigma.
That's kind of the same thing about the whole opiate
Yeah, true.
epidemic. That's to me not a real, I mean, maybe it was for fentanyl or like you said, oxy patients, but we have been demonized, is what I call
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So we have to get this under control. And it's not just at this point, I keep seeing stuff about acute patients too, acute pain patients. They now, like a patient's going in and let's say having a mastectomy or open heart surgery, and they are not giving any pain. They actually have new policies and they're getting incentivized, the doctors, meaning if you don't give them opiates, we'll pay you. Like it's getting
What? So they're
crazy. Oh
getting
yeah.
paid to let somebody suffer?
They're getting paid not to use opiates. Yeah. I'm
Oh
not
my.
kidding. I have the data on it, which I will put in there too. And then the whole thing with the buprenorphine, like I could go on and on. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole today, but this is something like I want everybody familiar with what's going on so that you guys will fight and advocate because honestly, we can't do it alone. We need every one of your guys' support
Yeah.
and every one of you guys helping. And I know like I'm with you. I have a kid. I'm sick all the time. I'm in pain all the time. What can I do, right? But here I am. I'm trying to do what I can just to get the wheel going, to get, you know what I mean? Get
Yeah.
things going in the right direction for all of us. So that's really the next thing is just sharing hope and also talking about what's working, what is working for our condition and maybe what's not working. But um, there are some things that, like I just had talked about, Dr. Tennant. You okay?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's
That's that thing I
okay.
was talking about
Oh,
earlier.
I know.
I
Yeah.
was starting to feel I was going to tell you, but I didn't want to interrupt. So
Oh, it's okay. Just yell. I mean,
yeah.
we're here to support you too. We
Thank
know,
you.
like, trust me. I know. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just want to shine a light though on evidence-based tools and things like the ketamine, which I'm going to record for everybody. I'm warning you now if I'm
I'm so
looped out of
ready.
my mind. If I'm looped out of my mind, I can't, it is what it is. I don't know. I've never
Yeah.
had it before, so I
We,
don't know how.
we might have to do a Facebook Live on that one.
Right. You guys are gonna take the funny. Remember, Ari was just saying we need these funny videos. There you go. You're gonna have some really funny ones, I'm sure.
That could be the
Uh,
one about the kid that had his tooth pulled, and he's like, they bought this whole pizza, and they're like, "Where's yours?" You
oh
know?
my God. Yeah. And then the neuroregeneration
Oh,
protocol. Did you see that by chance with Tennant
no,
recently?
I've been
The new
looking at
one he
that.
posted?
I've been going on to that nerve gen. I've been
Yeah.
really looking
Did you get
into
a
that.
hold of them by chance?
No, I called him again, and it
Okay.
rolled over.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue calling it. I would
Hmm.
love to be part of their study, but
Okay.
more importantly, I would like to have somebody from their marketing department come on and talk about
Talk
that
about it. Yeah.
future
That'd be
stuff.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
Definitely. Sure.
that was my world back in the day, medical devices, and they
Sure.
love to go brag about their stuff. So I don't think that
Sure.
will be part of hardly a problem, but we'll see. I mean,
So
we're
I
asking for 30 minutes of their time, right? So
just, yeah, right. So well, you probably can't see. I'll just tell you. DHEA and BP 157 peptide. That's my takeaway from the last Doc Talks. If you guys didn't catch it, that is Dr. Tennant's new nerve regeneration protocol, which he's calling groundbreaking. Um, so apparently, I think I talked about this before about them paralyzing the rats. Did I talk about that the last one?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's calling this groundbreaking. So, I'm definitely going to order it and just, try it and see, like you said, kind of be a guinea pig. I mean, he's already had some other patients that have had success. So, why not continue, so it's stuff like that that we want to share with you guys. And then also as we're sharing stuff like that, find out how many patients and whom it's helping and vice versa, so we can kind of track it. And I'm sure they're doing that too. But what else? Tenant law, that's what I want. I really want to recognize him because honestly, you guys, he didn't have to help us. Like, he could be retired on a beach somewhere and like living his life, right? But
He was
he,
risking arrest by the DEA at one point in time, I think,
oh, yeah, I think so.
because of his,
Yeah.
prescribing his
Right.
method.
Because he's so compassionate about, I mean, his patients, not just arachnoiditis patients, but any patients in pain.
Yeah.
So, and it's really hard to find good pain management doctors like that, honestly. And it's becoming really hard. And I think I told you the stats on that. There's only like 9,000 pain management doctors in the United States alone, and about 4,000 of them are under legal scrutiny right now. So that brings us down to what, 5,000 to
Yeah.
take care of 68 million roughly patients that have chronic pain. I mean, and
Wow.
then they're scared. The ones that are left, they're terrified, and rightfully so. So I'm putting Steve to sleep over
Sorry,
here.
no, yeah,
He's like,
I've
eh,
been this week. I had 3 straight days without sleep. Then I got a little bit of
I
sleep,
know.
and then I woke up at 3 a.m. I was up till 5, and then uh today the guys came to spray my yard, so I'm hearing this thing bing, bing, going past the
Mm,
window, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I
yeah.
just fell asleep."
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said before, we're on opposite ends of that.
Oh, I know, but
Somehow we have to counterbalance each other.
yeah,
Like, put it through here, like, I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, hey,
Um, oh, go
we're
ahead.
close to running
Yep.
out of time,
Yep.
of course. These conversations always go so fast, but hey, I want to wish you so much luck with your ketamine infusion.
Thank you.
I send all my love.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I want this to work out because if it works out for you, it's something I'm going to consider.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, because I take nothing, prednisone. Uh,
Right.
I just deal with my pain, but even I have limitations. I mean,
Yeah.
it can go on for so long, and I can be in so much pain. And just, I don't say why me. I never have said
No,
that.
but to
But
have quality of life back,
yeah,
that's really what it's about. We
yeah,
know at this point we can't be cured, but give us quality of life any way possible,
yeah.
you
I
know?
just want like 6 hours of sleep a night every night.
Right. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for you. Oh, Lord.
I try.
I would
You
give
know,
you half of my sleep, honest to God, if I could. Like,
Now, can you
seriously.
still lay in a bed? Are you still able?
Lay in a bed? Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
But I
man,
mean, I
it
flip
kills
flop
me.
like a fish all day,
Okay.
all
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
long. I have to reposition, yeah. So,
Like when I'm laying in a bed, I can only lay on my left side and my back. If I'm on my left side, I got a pillow between my legs and
hmm
I'm kicking my right leg because when I lay down, it exacerbates my pain.
right.
And that's the only way I can deal with it. It's just to shake it. And so mainly lately, I've been sleeping upright in a chair. It's the
Yeah.
only way that I'm not in as much pain that will keep me up day after day after day. Uh,
Yeah.
because that, and I think we're going to have to do a show on just some of the stuff that you experience. And maybe we get like two
Mm.
other people on,
Sure. Yeah.
that somebody that has it higher up, maybe in thoracic, somebody that has it in cervical, because all the symptoms are going to be different,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So if you're listening and you have either one of those arachnoiditis, um, in your upper extremities or, in your thorax, you know, let us know because I think we could do a four-way talk and really,
Sure.
cover all the bases for people. How do you cope? I mean, I cope by kicking my foot and I never take a sock off.
Right.
Trust me, when that sock comes off, it's like, woo.
Well, I've heard the opposite too for some patients, like having clothing on, it's like this
Oh yeah,
touch of
okay.
clothes. Yeah. So
Yeah. I mean
I'm
that's
sure, like you
yeah.
said, everybody's going to be so different. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So
but yeah, we don't want to smell your stinky foot. No,
it's
just
not
kidding.
that bad.
I know,
But
I
it
know.
it is the foot that I
As
have
the
a cubitus
ulcer.
ulcer.
Yeah. Right.
And man, it's been so sore lately. They're talking about putting me in a cast um that would offload the pressure on the heel
Mm.
and then just changing the cast weekly, like at a podiatrist office.
Okay. That's not a bad idea.
No, I mean I'm kind of into it. I wouldn't be able to ride my bike. I've got one bike ride coming up, the Cycle 66, which is out of here out of Edmond, celebrating Route 66. And
Oh,
I'm an
cool. Yeah.
ambassador for the ride. They
Nice.
opened up a paracycling category for me this year, at my
Well,
request.
that was
Because
really
I'm
nice.
also
Yeah.
on the Edmond Bicycle Committee.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, once I get that done. I'm open for all options because I've been fighting this for 2.5 years now.
Right.
And, my fear is osteomyelitis, uh, you know, get a bone infection, lose a foot, and now all of a
Yeah.
sudden I got
A really big problem. We don't want that. We're
yes.
gonna we're gonna prevent that. Like I told you, the whole maggot thing. I mean, even if we gotta go that route, right?
Yeah.
I- It's so weird to think about, but hey,
I
if it
know.
helps you in any way.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll talk about our next episode at some point. I wish you well. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah,
You'll
please
be
be
hearing
good.
from me. You'll all be hearing from me. Trust
Yeah.
me. You're gonna get some crazy ones, but yeah, if you guys want to share your story again, please reach out to us. We're wishing you guys strength and just a togetherness and I don't even know how to say that. Like I said, happy arachnoiditis month. I mean, but we want everybody, to join forces together and let's all unite and get this
Find a
taken
cure.
care of. Like
Yes.
let's get
Yeah.
it done.
If
So,
if we had enough people with a spoon, we could move a mountain a spoonful at a time.
absolutely. We're gonna move it together.
Absolutely.
But we
So,
can't do it alone. So remember, we need your help.
all right,
So,
we'll end on that. Take care, Sarah.
okay. All
Peace
right.
out.
Thanks, guys. Bye.